In last video we discussed about what is version control system and what are the types of version control system. So today we'll start about the Git tutorial and how to set up a repository and how to access it from the PC. Git is a distributed version control system and you will see many repository hosting service available in the market nowadays that can be used by software developers for writing their code. So these are the few repository hosting service available in the market, like GitHub, Bitbucket and GitLab. You can host your remote repository on these GitHub, Bitbucket and GitLab server. You can have your own server also for hosting Git remote repository, but if you don't have that, you can use this repository hosting service, which can be used for free up to some limitation. So as we discussed in distributed version control system, there will be a server that will host the remote repository, and there will be many clients, developer machines, which can access this remote repository, and developer can push the code to remote repository and pull the code from remote repository. In distributed version control system, there will be a local repository created on developer machine. That is why there is no need server connection while committing the code into local repository. So we will use GitHub server platform so that we can host the remote repository on GitHub, and I'll be using my PC so that I can create the local repository. I can push the code and pull the code from remote repository. So I'll be basically need three things. One is a PC. It might be Windows, Linux or Mac. I have Windows PC, and then Git client. To access the GitHub servers, we'll need a Git client and internet connection. While pushing and pulling the code from GitHub, we will need internet connection, but for committing the code into local repository, we don't need internet connection. So you have to see these two steps first before starting accessing remote repository. First is you have to install Git client. Go to this site and install the latest version of Git client. I have Windows machine, so I'll be installing Git client for Windows. And second step is, if you don't have account on GitHub, you have to go to this link and create an account on GitHub. To install the Git client, go to this site. You should see the interface something like this. Go to download option. You will see for which OS you want to download the Git client. I have Windows machine, so I'll go for Windows. And once you click this, Git client will get downloaded. Then you have to install the Git client with default setting. I have already installed it. Once Git client is installed in your machine, you have to go to the github.com and you have to sign up a new account. You have to enter your username, email address and password, and then you can create a new account. I already have an account, so I'll just sign in my account. You should see interface something like this. I have already created many repository, that's why you are seeing these repository in repository section. But if you have not created any repositories, you won't see any repository here. To create your first repository, you have to go to the top right side, you have to click this plus icon, and then you have to click new repository. You can give a name to your repository. I'm giving test repo, and you can give a description. And there are two options. One is public, private. If you are accessing GitHub for free, then you have to click on this public icon. GitHub says that if you are accessing GitHub for free, you have to public your source code so that other developers can use it. And if you want to make your source code private, then you can click on this private button. And then you have to click on this initialize with readme, and you will see two options, git ignore and license. We will discuss these two options in later videos. Here you see an option Travis CI. This is the continuous integration option that I had enabled, but if you don't see that, don't worry about it. After that, you just click on create repository. So your first remote repositories will be created. So here you will see your source code, whatever you push from your development machine. So you'll see many options, code, issues, pull request here. If you click on code option, you will see the code here. And these are the branch. By default, a master branch is created using GitHub server. Branches are something which developers use to develop their feature. So usually master branch is used for production. Your production code which is very well tested should be there in the master branch, and then there will be feature branch that we will discuss later. So this is the readme file which contains the description. In issues, you can create an issue and you can create a branch after that to solve that issue. An issue can be a new feature development, a bug resolution, or testing. After the issue is resolved, you can give the pull request so that code can be merged into the master branch. And in setting window, in setting tab, you can see many options related to your repository. Now your remote repository is created. You have to create your local repository because you cannot start the development on this web interface. You will start the development on your development machine. Then you have to create the local repository using this remote repository. To create the local repository, you have to go to this option code, and you will see many options here. There is one option download zip. If you click on this, your code will download it into your machine, but your local repository won't be created using this process. So you have to follow a process that is known as cloning. You have to clone the remote repository to your development machine, and there are two protocols for that GitHub use, SSH and HTTPS. Let us see how it works. So this is your remote repository path. You have to just click this icon and then you have to open the Git client you had installed in step first, that is Git Bash. So this is a CLI interface on which you have to enter the commands. There are many GUI available in the market which you can use for accessing Git server, but I suggest first you start using the Git Bash so that you can get interacted with many Git commands, and once you are familiar with the Git commands you can shift to any Git GUI. So now you can go to any folder in which you want to make the local repository. I'll go to desktop and you have to enter a command git clone, git space clone space and the link which we had copied. So every git command start with this keyword git space and this is the command clone space and this is the remote repository URL. I'll just click enter. If you are accessing the remote repository first time, you should see an error message something like this: permission denied, because GitHub server don't allow an unauthorized access to the remote repository. Anybody can download the code using this download zip option if the repository is public, but cloning is not allowed. Cloning can be done only with an authorization. So to authorize our development machine to GitHub server, GitHub use two protocols like I told, SSH and HTTPS. I prefer SSH because once I authorize my machine, I don't need to enter the username and password again. So to do that, you have to go to setting option, click on this SSH key and you will see SSH key option here. You can see there is no SSH key associated in my account. So to generate the SSH key, you have to go to this link and this will tell you how to generate and add it to GitHub account. So if you want to know about the SSH protocol, you can go to this. I'll just go to this generating a new SSH key option. So I have Windows machine, I'll go to Windows option. If you are working with any other OS, you can go to the option Linux and Mac, whichever you want, and then you have to follow this process. Open Git Bash. I have already opened the Git Bash and then I have to use this command. So this is my Git Bash. I'll just copy this command and then enter my email ID from which I am accessing GitHub account. Click enter. Oh, it looks like it is taking time. So now the key is created. Now you have to add your SSH key to SS agent. So these are the commands which you have to enter on Git Bash. Then copy this command and add it. So it is added to this location. So now your SSH key is added to SS agent. Now you have to add the SSH key to your GitHub account. To do that, you have to follow this process. You have to just copy the SSH key. Now SSH key is copied. Now you have to go to your GitHub account. You have to go to the same option, settings. Oh, sorry, by mistake I signed out. I'll log in once again. Then go to the same option, settings, and then SSH key. Now we have generated and copied the SSH key. Now you have to click new SSH key and any, like Savvy Machine, I am giving a title, and then add SSH key. So this is your public key. Now SSH key is successfully added. Now go to the Git client again, and then copy the remote repository URL from here, and then enter the command git space clone space then URL and click on enter. Now you see that remote repository is successfully cloned in your machine. So I can see that this is the folder test repo. I'll just go to this folder to see what all the files are there. So see, this is the readme file which is there on the remote repository. You can see that. I'll just see what is in there. So this is the readme.md file content. So if I go to desktop, I see a folder test repository, test repo, and this is the readme file. So you see a green symbol on my repository, local repository. If you don't see this green symbol, don't worry about it. This comes by installing Tortoise Git software. If you install the Tortoise Git software and restart your PC, you should be able to see this green symbol on your local repository. This is just to identify which is my repository and which is normal folder. You won't see this green symbol on Windows folder, but if you have installed the Tortoise Git, you should be able to see a green symbol on your repository. So I prefer to install this Tortoise Git because like this I can easily identify which is my repository, so that by mistake also I should not delete the local repository. Otherwise I have to clone it. If I want to push something to remote repository, then those changes will be lost. So once you go to the local repository using git bash, you will see a master word here, because you are in master branch. Like you see, there is only one branch created in your remote repository. So when we start with a feature, we create more branches and we can easily go to those branches using git bash, and we can start adding the code in GitHub repository. So this is how you can create a remote repository and access the remote repository using your development machine.